like bad things happen to you? That everyone else is lucky and you're not? Do you ever feel like you're never on the receiving end of good news, good health, or good fortune? Did you ever think that the possible cause for at least some of your distress could be you? I was bullied in elementary school by a certain girl. She continued to bully me through 8th grade. I resented her for it. My dad asked why I despised her so much. I made accusations against her, and he didn't have much of a say in that. One day, her and I yet again had another altercation. I acted out impulsively and got detention for the first and the only time in my life. Afterwards, she told me things about her that I didn't know. And then I was embarrassed for lashing out at her. When I told my dad what had happened and what I know now about the girl, he said he already knew these things about her. So when I asked why he never told me, well, he said that he wanted me to learn that my actions have consequences and that I need to hold myself accountable. Prior to that, I didn't know what it meant to hold myself accountable. I thought that things just happened to me for a reason that was out of my control. I would get frustrated because I was always attracting the wrong crowd. I was made to feel inferior, and I thought life wasn't fair. However, through it all, my one passion was soccer. I played soccer for 10 years, and I even made my way up on club teams. I was good, but I wasn't great. I was convinced that soccer was the only sport that I could play, and that I'd never be a great player. The great players were just simply better than me, and I could never perform at their level. Or so I thought. Think about this. It's easy to do what I did. Oh, they're just better than me. There's nothing I can do about that. They were either born smarter, or faster, or stronger. So what about holding yourself accountable and improving yourself? But I know what you might be thinking. My life is so busy. I don't have time to work out, or to read, or anything else. Well, just as there are consequences for our actions, there are consequences for our inactions. We need to look ourselves in the mirror and ask ourselves if we are the reason why we are not where we want to be in our lives. So what excuses are you making that is keeping you from realizing your full potential? I finally realized that there was no outside force that was preventing me from becoming a great soccer player. In fact, what was stopping me was me. And after I came to this realization, my life changed. I became best friends with Katie in 7th grade. It was fun. We were the top female students in our grade, and we were inseparable. One of Katie's friends was a girl whom I've had tensions with since elementary school. Yeah, the bully. I put my emotions to the side, and I befriended her. However, over time, she tried her hardest to drive a wedge between Katie and I. And she succeeded. So over time, I got frustrated, and I cut all communications with Katie, just like that. Over the next year, when I saw that Katie needed a true friend, I wasn't there for her. I assumed there was no possible way to make amends for what I did. I made excuses instead of holding myself accountable. Then in our senior year, I decided to take responsibility for my actions, and I reached out to her. We talked out our issues, and we're best friends again. Look at that. Have you ever been in a situation that you thought was irreversible? Because I sure have. I hurt my best friend for the longest time because I made the excuses. By holding myself accountable, I was able to cut through the excuses and make it impactful and a positive change. I say this because we can all relate to a time where we thought it was too late to fix something that we did or if there even was a solution. So after my realization, I started to hold myself accountable for everything that I did, like my studying, my grades, my relationships with people, and my victories and losses in sports. I started to see that I wasn't as weak as I thought I was. I went 10 long years in soccer without realizing my full potential. With this empowering mindset, I started to see what I could all achieve. And I decided that I could excel in something other than soccer. So I did the most obvious thing. I joined the boys' wrestling team. The high school boys' wrestling team, didn't have a girls' team. So I thought, well, it was my fault if I failed as a wrestler. So I decided to hold myself accountable for my actions. At night, I would watch wrestling videos to learn new techniques. And during the day, I would hit the gym very hard. Sometimes it would be hard to learn 2 new styles of wrestling, especially when injuries came around. One day at practice, I injured myself and I just thought I was sore. So the next day, I decided to go to a tournament. Instead of leaving with a medal, I left with a sprained rotator cuff and a partial dislocation. It was very discouraging. So when I healed and never got the results I wanted, it was easy for me to blame it on my injury. I was convinced that my skill was never going to grow, considering I was already behind the other wrestlers. I just started the sport. I would complain about why I wasn't getting better. But then I realized that I was the one who lost determination. So I stopped using the excuse, and soon enough, I was out lifting some of the boys, competed and beat trainers at my gym, and even got the chance to leg press 680 pounds. Some things that I never thought I was going to be able to do in the years back. Holding ourselves accountable isn't always easy. We sometimes come to painful conclusions about ourselves. While we all want to succeed and achieve, we're just not willing to do what it takes. And that's not an easy conclusion to make either. So I ask you, do you think bad things happen to you? That everyone else is lucky and you're not? That you're never on the receiving end of good news, good health, or good fortune? By rising above and consciously holding ourselves accountable, we will be able to overcome what was holding us back and achieve things that we never thought possible. Thank you.